Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of 30 Days of Recovery. I am your host, Travis the Featherhawk Snyder. I am a person in long-term recovery, and what that means for me is I haven't had a mind or mood-altering chemical for over 5 years, and as a direct result of that choice, many incredible improvements have occurred on a daily basis, and I know that I need to work on this every single day. And one of the results of those choices is this broadcast every day in August. I'm going to be talking about a topic and how it relates to my personal story of addiction and recovery with the hopes of reaching people in Schuylkill County and beyond. I am only here to share simply and humbly off of my lived experience. Today is day 16, and today I want to talk about a strong foundation. And this is absolutely an important thing, and the best way I can really describe this is just think of a house. Think of anything that stands on a structure. If what's holding the structure up isn't solid, it's doomed to collapse. It's doomed to fail. It's doomed to be weak. And when it's weak and something really tough comes in, and say with a house, maybe strong winds, strong storms, hurricane, whatever it may be, comes rushing through, it's more doomed to collapse. And so that is the best analogy I can make for having a strong foundation in recovery. My personal story is that it took a long time till I truly built a strong foundation, and my foundation for recovery was a strong spiritual foundation. I can tell you, in my addiction, going to treatment for the first time, I started to learn about that foundation and what that meant, but I didn't truly understand or grasp the concept. And I had a lot of reservations leaving treatment in 2008, and it didn't take very long till I was back out there, because I didn't really build on that foundation. Being in treatment was the start of that foundation. It was how I was learning, really putting the tools in my hand, and how I was going to build this foundation. And so, it took me until I, really went through everything but death to really come to terms with that surrender and surrendering to open my heart and mind, and ultimately to open my hands to put them tools in to create that foundation. So going to treatment, detoxing, and really getting a clear, healthy conscience and getting a healthy mind and body is the first step to learning and growing and being able to really take on the knowledge and understanding and what it takes to learn how to recover. And then once we get healthy, being able to, ultimately it really does start with that surrendering to what it takes to get healthy, surrendering to what it takes to then learn and grow and live a daily life, a daily healthy life in recovery, and hopefully with the goal of living in recovery for the rest of our lives. And to have that, we need to start with a strong foundation. Me personally, I went to treatment after jail. I was clean for a couple of months before I went into treatment, so I was already in a clear state of mind. But most importantly, I humbled myself to want to learn, and really, regardless of how the information was being shared, taking it in, whether it be from the 12 steps, whether it be from the counselors, the groups, or the different little projects, whether it be from the packets, the one-on-ones, whatever it may be, small groups, big groups, whatever it was going to be, I had to keep my heart and mind open and not build walls and build these walls where I say, well, that's not going to work for me. That doesn't work for me. Because at that point, everything I thought that worked for me didn't work. That's why it got me to where I was. So, completely surrendering and opening my heart and mind to however this new knowledge and new information and how I was going to learn how to live and grow and live a healthy, happy life without the use of drugs, alcohol, mind, or mood-altering chemicals, ultimately. Now, after I left treatment, and this is very important for anybody that is, making that choice, just detoxing and getting well is just really the first step. That to build, that's really what's going to get you into a healthy state. But now you got to take these tools, these things that you're learning, because most people are walking out of treatment, after 28 days, And then, you feel good. By that point, most people are feeling pretty good, feeling a bit confident, feeling sober, feeling a good positive energy starting to come back. But it's like, if we take those tools and when we walk out of treatment and we just say, well, we don't need these anymore, and we don't continue to build that foundation using those tools, ultimately we're on a path to, statistically, we're on a path to relapse. And so for me personally, I went to intensive outpatient, and this was super important. And, because at this point I was just like, whatever I got to learn, whatever I have to do to learn this, I got to put my ego aside. I got to put my ego aside and my idea of what it's going to take to live, and just listen and learn, ask questions, and be involved in my personal growth. And so intensive outpatient, I went to, I'm not sure what it was called at that time, but at St. Clair, right beside the business park, and, finished that thing out. And, and then from there, during that time, I was attending groups. I was attending 12-step meetings as well, learning about the steps, and, really just gaining a lot of spiritual knowledge on life. But ultimately, having a good foundation and building on it, and taking and learning, and then always it's like almost maintaining that foundation. It's like always, taking that foundation and constantly keeping an eye on it, and maybe even always improving it, reinforcing it, building it stronger, like whatever it takes. But ultimately, if I didn't surrender to what it was going to take to build that foundation, I wouldn't have really had something strong to stand on. Pardon me. And so today, building a strong foundation in early recovery is absolutely a key element, and it can be found with different recovery support groups. Absolutely encourage outpatient treatment, maybe even having a peer specialist, a certified recovery specialist, somebody that you can link up with. I know Kogi Clinical Outcomes Group in Pottsville is offering that now. And so the resources are out there. The pathway to a really good recovery with a solid foundation is available. It's just a matter of how much determination and how open-minded and willing and diligent and and how humble and how much information and knowledge and how much work you're willing to put in to build that foundation. So that's it for this 30 days of recovery. Anybody out there that's going into treatment, thinking about treatment, just getting out of treatment, new in recovery, slipped up, relapsed, back on track again, my best advice is to humble yourself, surrender, regardless of what you think works. Like, just take on the knowledge and information, and once you start to see that foundation and it becomes firm and strong and you can stand on it, then you can start to think about how you can evolve your recovery and really personalize it. So that's it for 30 days of recovery. Just here, I don't have all the answers. All I have is what worked for me, and all I have is encouragement out of a great deal of care and concern for people out there in our community. And so that's it for 30 days of recovery, and we will see you next time for day 17 and a new topic. Have a great day, everyone. Peace.